A Singaporean man charged with stealing and laundering more than 200 million US dollars worth of Bitcoin is scheduled to appear in court in Washington, D.C. on Friday. Malone Lam is expected to face trial in the coming weeks. Nick Harper has more.
This is the story of Malone Lam, a 20-year-old Singaporean who went from an average guy to one of the most infamous names in cryptocurrency crime overnight. How? He allegedly pulled off one of the largest crypto heists in U.S. history, stealing over $230 million worth of Bitcoin. What followed was a wild ride of luxury cars, designer handbags, million-dollar mansions, and wild nights at exclusive nightclubs. But like most crime stories, the high life didn't last long. So who exactly is Malone Lam, and how did he pull it off?
Arrested 20-year-old Malone Lam and another 21-year-old in Los Angeles. The duo accused of stealing and laundering over $230 million in cryptocurrency, or 4,100 Bitcoin, from a victim in Washington, D.C. Lam, a citizen of Singapore, went online by the names Anne Hathaway and $3 signs. According to the indictment, since at least August, Lam and others conspired to carry out cryptocurrency thefts and to launder the stolen crypto through exchanges and mixing services.
Lam arrived in the U.S. in October 2023 using the Visa Waiver Program, which allows tourists to stay in the country for up to 90 days without a visa. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's the catch. Lam stayed way past that limit, with no job, no permanent home, and no legal right to be in the U.S. He bounced between Los Angeles and Miami, blending in as just another young man chasing the American dream. But the dream he chased wasn't earned. It was allegedly stolen. Lam, who also went by online aliases like Anne Hathaway and Dollars, teamed up with another man named Jondiel Serrano, known online as Versace God or I Skidstar. Together, they hatched a scam targeting a high-net-worth individual based in Washington, D.C. This person was an early investor in cryptocurrency, someone who had made serious money, and someone Lam and Serrano saw as the perfect mark. This wasn't your run-of-the-mill phishing scam. According to federal prosecutors, this was sophisticated social engineering, a form of manipulation where scammers gain someone's trust to steal sensitive data. The goal was to make the victim believe that his Google account was under attack. So, a week before the big hit on August 18th, Lam and Serrano brought in a third accomplice to start bombarding the victim with fake notifications about unauthorized access to his Google account. These alerts were cleverly designed to look like real threats and seemed to come from overseas thanks to VPNs and proxy servers. Just imagine the fear. You're getting flooded with alerts that someone is trying to break into your account. You panic. And then, like clockwork, a call comes through. On the line is someone claiming to be from Google's support team. In reality, it was Lam and Serrano. They convinced the victim that his account was under threat and needed to be shut down immediately. In his panic, the victim handed over the security codes. With this access, Lam allegedly broke into the victim's OneDrive and Gmail, where he found the jackpot, records of cryptocurrency holdings, including accounts with the exchange Gemini. And that was just the beginning. Lam and Serrano then stepped it up. They called the victim again, this time pretending to be from Gemini's security team. They warned him that his account had been compromised and convinced him to transfer about $3 million worth of crypto into what he believed was a secure wallet. In reality, that wallet was controlled by Lam. To keep the account secure, they had the victim install a remote desktop connection tool. It sounded helpful, but it gave the scammers live access to the victim's computer. While Serrano distracted the victim on the phone, Lam rummaged through files and found the private keys to his Bitcoin holdings. And just like that, in one of the boldest heists ever recorded, Lam allegedly transferred over 4,100 Bitcoin, worth around $230 million at the time, into wallets he controlled. It was clean, fast, and nearly untraceable. But they weren't just content with sitting on the money. Almost immediately, Lam and Serrano began laundering the stolen funds through a web of mixers, peel chains, and crypto wallets to cover their tracks. Then they started spending. A lot. Lam dropped cash like it was water. He reportedly spent millions at nightclubs in LA and Miami, with single nights burning through as much as $500,000. He showered friends and strangers with designer handbags, watches, and jewelry. And then came the cars. We're talking 31 luxury cars, including custom-built Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Porsches. One car alone was worth over $3 million. Of those 31 cars, 22 were still missing as of late September. Lam didn't stop at cars. He lived like royalty, renting mansions in Los Angeles and Miami. One of his homes on Hibiscus Island came with a price tag of $68,000 per month. Serrano, too, was enjoying the good life, renting a California mansion for nearly $47,500 a month. But here's the thing about living large. It attracts attention. On September 18th, just 1 month after the heist, the feds caught up. Serrano was arrested at Los Angeles International Airport after returning from the Maldives with his girlfriend. She quickly warned Lamb that Serrano had been nabbed. Lamb deleted his Telegram account, but it was too late. That same day, the FBI raided a luxurious waterfront Airbnb in Miami, one that had been favored by celebrities. They arrested Lamb, seized cars, watches, and other evidence. In the blink of an eye, the party was over. Lamb now faces serious federal charges, including conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. He first appeared in court in Florida on September 19th. Then in November, he had a pre-trial hearing in Washington, D.C., where he requested a speedy trial. His lawyer, Scott Armstrong, said, "Mr. Lamb is 20 years old and unfortunately caught up in a very complicated case. We will vigorously defend him." Lamb remains in custody in Virginia, awaiting his next court appearance in January. If convicted, he could face up to 20 years in prison for each charge and fines of up to $250,000, or twice the amount of the money he gained from the scam. That's potentially hundreds of millions in penalties, on top of decades in jail. But beyond the flashy headlines and shocking amounts of money, the case of Malone Lamb raises deeper questions. How could someone so young mastermind such a massive fraud? How did a 20-year-old, unemployed, and without legal status in the US, orchestrate a cybercrime that rivaled the most advanced hacking groups? The answer seems to lie in the power of social engineering and human psychology. Malone Lamb and his crew didn't need to break into any high-security servers or use complex malware. They just used fear, trust, and manipulation to get one man to hand over the keys to his fortune. This case is a wake-up call to everyone, especially those involved in crypto. It shows just how vulnerable we all are when fear clouds our judgment. Even the savviest investor can fall victim when the right buttons are pushed. And while Malone Lamb's story may have started with digital theft and a trail of luxury, it now ends in cold courtrooms and locked prison cells. His name, once unknown, is now forever tied to one of the largest crypto scams in American history. Let this be a lesson. In a world where wealth can move in seconds with the click of a button, so can trust, and so can your entire fortune. Malone Lamb's story is a dramatic reminder of the dark side of digital currency. It's a tale of ambition, manipulation, and ultimately, downfall. From luxury sports cars to lavish nights out, Lamb lived fast and high. But in the end, the law caught up. Justice may move slowly, but it never forgets. And this story isn't just about one man's greed. It's about how easily even the most secure systems can be broken not by brute force, but by deception. The most valuable currency in the digital age isn't Bitcoin, it's trust. And once that trust is lost, everything else can unravel. So what can you do? Always be cautious with your digital assets. Use multi-factor authentication. Don't give away sensitive info over the phone, no matter how official it sounds. And most importantly, stay informed. Scams are getting smarter every day, and the best defense is awareness. If you found this story shocking or eye-opening, hit that subscribe button. We cover real crime, digital danger, and everything in between. Share this video so others know how high the stakes can be in the crypto world, because next time, the victim could be anyone, even you. Stay alert, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.